I like what General Motors has been doing lately. Here's yet another reason that I think they could be on the right track. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. My name is Sam Evans, and I'm coming to you from Melbourne, Australia. It's been a really kind of crazy last 7 days in this electric vehicle, battery, renewable energy industry. Really, things are going pretty crazy. I don't think people realize just how fast innovation is moving right now, but it's really quite an amazing time to be alive. Truly it is. I don't say that with any exaggeration or hyperbole. It truly is. Like, what better time to be alive than now? I mean, honestly, there's a lot of noise coming from the media, a lot of negative stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, Ukraine, then they've got all this royal family, stuff, nonsense. I mean, the Queen's death, don't get me wrong, that's not nonsense, but all the stuff surrounding that with Meghan Markle and all this garbage that's in the news all the time, it's all very negative. The truth is, according to most major indices, most countries around the world have significantly improved over the past decade. So we're actually really, really lucky to be alive right now. General Motors as well, they're lucky to be alive as well, considering the fact that they've been bailed out before. Will probably be bailed out again at some point in future, and they just got a $2.5 billion loan. I wouldn't mind a $2.5 billion loan myself. I don't know about you, but loan me $2.5 billion and I'd have a lot of different things I could do with that $2.5 billion. But anyhow, GM, I think, have made some good decisions lately that are not getting enough press, especially what they're planning on doing in trying to upseat Uber. And I made a video about that. I'll put a link in the description below. If you didn't see that video, I think there's more to that. I'll have another version of that video coming out soon with more information, more details on what I think GM's plan is over the next 10 years to take a massive slice of that sector of the industry, which is worth hundreds of billions. It's a massive industry. However, now GM is also transitioning its business to meet the future of transportation by introducing a lineup of new electric vehicles. They said they'd have 18 electric cars for sale in October of 2022 this year. Yeah, that's obviously not going to happen, but the point is they will eventually get there because I believe GM are committed to being all EV, all electric, and that's by 2035. Sooner would be better for them, but anyhow, they're going to get there eventually. At a Goldman Sachs tech conference last week, GM's CEO Mary Barra spoke about the automaker's electric vehicle strategy, claiming, "We want to provide EVs for everyone." She's also claimed that General Motors lead the industry worldwide for electrification and they're bringing it globally. They're making everyone go EV because of GM. Yeah. Anyhow, now the automaker is doing something really good. They're pushing for new standards and help Americans to achieve this goal. The United States has set a target of hitting 50% EV share by 2030, but to get there, GM believes more action will be needed. I mean, companies like Toyota are clearly not on board. Japanese automakers are not on board. Japanese automakers provide a lot of cars to the United States. So if GM does some of this hard work, some of this pushing, along with Tesla, that's going to be a big help. GM is doing its part by launching a full lineup of EVs with the mission of having an EV for everyone as it gears up to take on Tesla. And obviously, Mary Barra said she absolutely believes GM will pass Tesla in 2025. Now, the crazy thing is a lot of the automotive industry believe this stuff as well. I don't know, maybe they have some sort of relationship with her, they're friends, and so they just believe whatever she says. I don't know, but the thing is that I find weird is the fact that these investment banks and stuff are believing this stuff. But anyhow, it doesn't matter. The truth is, automakers competing with each other will help push EV adoption even further. This is something I've been talking about for a while now. The more automakers that make electric cars, the pie doesn't get smaller. The pie gets bigger because all they're doing is displacing internal combustion engine powered vehicles. So that's the positive here. Now, a lot of people think it's Tesla versus the world, or it's BYD versus the world, or whoever brand that they love versus the world. It's not really the way it works. It's not yet a zero-sum game because the reality is right now disruption is happening. EVs are disrupting internal combustion engine vehicles. So GM competing against Tesla actually is really a good thing. And realistically, as GM gears up to scale its production of its highly anticipated EVs for everyone, I mean, the Chevy Equinox EV, $30,000. If that happens, yeah, that certainly will do some damage in the market, big time. And the other thing that they're doing, new EPA standards will help incentivize buyers to switch, promote fewer emissions, and create manufacturing jobs by the end of the decade, according to GM. And according to The Electric, GM is advocating for zero emissions with its new push for EVs. GM has teamed up with the Environmental Defense Fund, the EDF, a leading environmental organization, to develop 7 recommendations for EPA standards to support an all-electric future from the model year 2027 going forward. Now, these have been released. This information has been released. The internet's gone mental. They've gone absolutely bonkers. They're going, General Motors is woke. Go woke. Go woke, you go broke. I actually think that's often true. Go woke, you go broke. But they're not going woke here. This is just logical. Because, these Muppets saying this stuff, do they not realize they're being poisoned? They're breathing in. Basically, the possibility of developing cancer by breathing in toxic exhaust fumes is very high. It's very high. There's been many studies proving this. Even if you'd think global warming's a hoax or whatever, the truth is, you really want to breathe in all these fumes, toxic fumes, which are basically slowly killing you. That's nothing to do with being woke. That's just simply logic, not wanting to do that. And personally, open your window, right? Open your window, you're sitting behind a diesel-powered car, an older one in particular, but even newer models, open your window and tell me that you can't smell that. Or an older petrol gas-powered vehicle, right? You can see the fumes coming out of the car. You can smell that stink. And if you can smell it, you're breathing in stuff that's basically slowly killing you and certainly causing inflammation in your body. So that's nothing to do with being woke. So I'm just like, come on. Get with the project, get with the program here, guys. This is not about being woke. It's got nothing to do with it. Now, the new EPA recommendations are designed to accelerate the transition to EVs in the US and would require at least half of new vehicles sold to emit zero emissions and reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 60% by 2030. Mary Barra says, General Motors has the ultimate goal of eliminating tailpipe emissions from new light-duty vehicles by 2035. As new standards are being developed, we are pleased to join the Environmental Defense Fund to provide recommendations that support accelerated adoption of EVs to put us on the path toward that goal. If passed, the new standards would also include an innovative opt-in compliance pathway designed to reward innovative manufacturers for speeding up EV development. I like that idea. GM and EDF said the new recommendations should be proposed this fall for finalization in fall 2023 and would extend until at least 2032 through to 2035. Fred Cupp, president of EDF, says if the proposal is adopted, it will mean healthier communities, a safer climate for all, and turbocharging US manufacturing and jobs. Now, obviously, the key point here, healthier communities. What's he trying to say? Well, he's trying to say what I was trying to say before, right? If the air you breathe is cleaner, you'll be healthier. Pretty logical, right? Now, I'm going to paraphrase 7 recommendations. Number 1, standards should achieve protections, science-based emission reductions reflecting the availability of zero-emitting vehicle technology, meaning standards should reflect the ability for GM to build EVs. 2, standards should be proposed this year and adopted next year, providing stability and certainty for manufacturers beyond 2030. Meaning, standards should apply to the next 10 years so we don't have to adapt our plans at GM. So GM wants a bit of certainty here. Number 3, standards should be designed in a manner consistent with EPA's long-standing regulation of emissions from new motor vehicles, meaning emissions should ignore life cycle emissions from manufacturing. Number 4, standards should be designed to enhance equity, meaning continue to allow us to build internal combustion engine vehicles as well while we're making this change. Number 5, standards should incorporate an innovation opt-in compliance pathway for multi-pollutant reductions, meaning investment in EV technology is voluntary based on how our investors feel. Number 6, complementary public and equitable investments, meaning give us financial incentives. Number 7, coordination, meaning the EPA, DOT, and the president need to get on the same page and stop contradicting each other. Now, those 7 paraphrased recommendations were from Vegan Sandwich, and Vegan Sandwich, I think it makes some really good points there. But you know what? In researching and looking at what's going on here with GM, I discovered a whole new world. It turns out a very large proportion of GM's fans are extremely angry that GM plans to be all EV in 2035. I didn't know how angry these people can get. They seem furious. it's actually quite amusing to see. I had quite a lot of fun, a big chuckle watching and reading some of their comments. And I'm sure you will too over the coming years as these people continue to kick and scream while the world moves on without them. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.